I think that in today's day and time, it's very difficult to set boundaries for any type of creation, for any creative. Yeah, these whole stories of cultural appropriation have been they've been discussed. They've been in the media, not just in the field of dance, but in so many other ways and aspects about how, I don't know, white Americans appropriate Black Americans' culture, and so on so many levels. I think that when it comes to creating, yeah, when it comes to, I don't know how to even say, yeah, when it comes to do the artistic side of you, I don't think you can actually set boundaries for someone which elements they are allowed to use and which elements they are not allowed to use. And I don't think that, for example, for Fernando, let's just take an example of Fernando's work, the fact that whether he's Maasai or he's not Maasai, does that give him the right to use Maasai elements? You see what I mean? I think when you talk authenticity in the context of traditional dance, is a very different thing than when you talk authenticity in the context of contemporary dance or of creative dance, whatever you want to call it, yes. To a certain extent, if some guy in, I don't know where your guy was from, in China, or if some guy in Japan wants to pick up like a Kenyan traditional dance or a Kenyan traditional instrument and make a life out of it and be super famous and sell tickets for shows and what, it is our own problem if we haven't done the same, isn't it? It is our own flaw that we haven't pushed the same thing to the same level, isn't it? I think it's very easy to victimize yourself and look for other people to blame and to be saying, like, you know, the discussion we always have with Kahithe Tabu about Anyango and her playing Nyatiti and stuff like that. You know, it is our own fault if we've not been able to penetrate the market and to make that thing work out there in the world as Kenyans. So we can't really blame people to appropriate whatever they want. You know, it's the freedom of expression and the freedom of creation. When it comes to the future of dance, yes, I was just one comment because I was asked to say what one thing that dance needs. I don't think it's one thing, but that dance needs. What I think is that when we speak of sustainability, I think what I want to add maybe, which has not been mentioned, and I believe we've skipped, is that before we even speak of spaces for performance, before we even speak of funding to support performing arts, I think we need to start from the very beginning. Like, where is dance education in Kenya? Like, how are we encouraging young people to take up dance as a profession, and which spaces we are giving them to learn that dance? And what are we teaching them? What are we teaching them in this space, aside from technique or aside from teaching somebody a specific dance from a specific Kenyan community? Because being an artist, it's more than about just the floor practice and the creativity itself, you know? If you're not teaching people how to be sustainable artists, how to survive as artists, if you're not teaching them basics of, you know, how to manage your career, how to exactly, you know, value your profession, how to, you know, charge your client, how to negotiate, all those different elements. So I think we need to invest a lot still on the level of development of dancers in Kenya. Obviously, there's the aspect of, you know, infrastructural support and institutions that would fund dance projects and so on and so on. And I think there's that element of networking. I think we should open up a bit more, because by networking, I think that as the dance community, we tend to close ourselves into like we are among ourselves, yeah. And it's very difficult. I think that's my experience from the dance pieces I've seen in Kenya. It's very difficult to bring in outsiders into a dance space. You'll find when a beautiful dance piece, a contemporary dance piece is being presented in Kenya, whether it's in Alliance Francaise, whether it's here at the Go Down, you'll find that 70 or 80% of the audience are dancers, which is great. I think it's lovely that we support each other and we support each other's project, and it's really important. But I think we need to step out of the cocoon and start involving non-dancers and start evolving a bigger, you know, part of the Kenyan society, so that they would recognize the importance of dance. We can't just remain among ourselves and expect for dance to evolve.